Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 298 of the Auto Detailing Podcast. It's Jimbo, your host, and today we're going to be switching it up a little bit, as I like to do. We're going to be doing a solo podcast, just me ranting, raving, and just taking as long as I need to get all this stuff not off my chest. Nothing I got to get off my chest today at all. Basically, what's going on is I've been trying so many different products and tools and stuff like that. I felt like I just needed to sit down and dump it all out, because what was happening, I'm trying all this stuff and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a video about it. I'm going to do this about it. I'm going to do all these things about it. And then I realized that I end up doing absolutely nothing about it. So what I really wanted to do, and this week kind of gave me the perfect opportunity to do it, because I'm fresh off from coming back from Pebble Beach last week, which was an amazing experience. And just to touch on that for a second, do you ever go experience something that's so far out of your norm, so far out of your normal day-to-day life that you're almost not even sure if it's reality, and you're not even sure how to handle and conduct yourself, because you're so far out of your realm that you're just not even sure what realm you're even playing in? That's kind of the gist of what that weekend was. Everything from just an incredible hotel to meeting Adam Patali of Adam's Polishes, to walking the concourse show and seeing all these cars that are worth more money than I even knew existed in the whole world. So, but with that said, coming back to kind of a crazy week, I was just kind of thinking about all the things that I've been testing and trying and products, and I just kind of wanted to call this like the state, the current state of the union for what I got going on in my life, but I don't really like that state of the union feel. So basically what this podcast is going to be is just a rant. Not a rant. It's not even a rant, because I really have nothing to rant about. It's just going to be a documentation of the products that I've been trying. So versus a how-to or best practices or any, more of a, not so much of a teaching podcast, but more of a experience podcast. What I've been experiencing, the tools I've been playing with, and all that. So let's get right back into it, or not back into it, just right into it. Anyway, so I've been having, because I am mainly a rinseless detailer. Did I just say the same thing twice? I do mainly rinseless washes. I go through a ton of microfiber towels. And it helps to have a company like Autofiber kind of on your side when you're blowing through a ton of towels, especially with stuff like the Jimbo kit and all that. But still, I don't really like wasting towels. And one of the issues that I was coming up against is going through so many towels, because I really started to become kind of even with the Costco towels and the cheaper towels, I became kind of a towel snob and only really liked the towels when they were fresh, right? Because we all know when you have fresh towels, that's seemingly when they absorb the most amount of water. It seems to be when they kind of work most effectively, right? Is when they're brand new, fresh. So the issue that I started to have was that I only was liking brand new towels, and once I washed them one time, I kind of retired them to other things: interiors, wheels, rims, door jambs, cleaning interiors, stuff like that. But still, I mean, not only does it get expensive to be only using new towels for the exterior paintwork of the car, but you have a whole another problem, is that you have a crap ton of towels. And so I would wait a long time to do the towel laundry, right? In fact, I got a pile sitting right next to me right now as I record this. But you have a bunch of towels that you got to do something with. So It wasn't until I actually had and this leads into one of the products that I literally just started using last week. It got into a conversation that I was having with Ian from Auto Fiber, and I was telling him, I'm just blowing through a ton of towels. I use them once, sometimes twice, and then I'm throwing them away, or I'm throwing not throwing a lot of them away, just when I was using the Costco towels, but when I use the Auto Fiber towels, I'm still saving them but repurposing them for other uses, right? So, um, uh, two of them, right, they're next to each other. So what he was talking about is, he's noticed this problem too, and he and Ian directly related it back to, and it made total sense. And I've never thought about this, and you may know this, or you may be learning this for the first time. For me, it was the first time because I never thought about it. But he said, the waxes and polymers and all the things that you're putting on the car and removing with the towel are getting caught up in the fibers of the towel, and then they're not being cleaned out good enough. So one of the things Ian said that he likes to do is as soon as he uses the towel, say he's removing a wax or removing a coating, or now I did think about this when it came to wiping off coatings, but those towels I just throw away right away. So I'll remove the coating and wipe them, and I'll wipe the coating away and then throw those towels away right away, because I don't want the coating residue to harden in the towel. And then when I go to use it on a separate car, I'm actually scratching the paintwork because that towel was used to remove a ceramic coating that is now hardened in the fibers of the towels. So, but I never really thought about that in regards to waxes, sealants, stuff like that. I always just used the towel, washed it, and no big deal. And what I had been using for the when I washed it in the washing machine was just like the Kirkland. As you could see, I like Costco a lot, but with a family of 5, you just can't shop at a normal grocery store, and because you buy a normal size bag of chips and they're gone before you even get home. So Costco, bulk sizes work really well for us. So I try to double dip and get as many things as I need at one store. So I was using the Costco free and clear because I could use it for family laundry and also for my microfiber towels. And I never really thought much of it, other than my towels weren't seemingly as absorbent as they really should be. I mean, to be fair. And again, I was washing on cold, and then I would do an air dry where I wouldn't even dry the towels all the way. I wash on warm and do the same thing, kind of almost air dry the towels, and the same thing was happening. And I really couldn't figure it out until me and Ian had this conversation last week, and he said, maybe it's the detergent. Are you using Micro Restore, which is a detergent that Auto Fiber sells? Obviously, you can get it at autofiber.com. You could save 20% if you use my code Jimbo, but you already know that. And I said, no, I haven't even tried the Auto Restore because honestly, it seems kind of gimmicky to me. And not only Auto Fiber sells the detergent for microfiber towels, but a lot of other companies sell it as well. But to me, it was always kind of gimmicky. Like, come on. There's nothing special about a detergent specially formulated for microfiber towels and a detergent that's made for clothes, right? Because it's still removing dirt, grime, and stains. Whether that's from my clothes or from a microfiber towel, the washing machine doesn't know the difference, right? Am I right? So with that said, I told Ian, however, this is an issue that I'm having, that the towels don't seem as absorbent. I'm going to take a drink of water. And he said, that's interesting you would say that. I've noticed that problem too, and I've thought about it. And Ian, has gone through the extent of, once he uses the towels, putting them in either a bucket with like soap and degreaser or a bucket with the Micro Restore in it. The problem with that with me is, if I can get my English right, is that I'm mobile. I'm a mobile detailer. So to have a separate bucket with a special solution to help extend the life of the towels really isn't a viable option. If you're at a shop, that may be more of a viable option, but I don't really want a bunch of soaking wet towels in my rig traveling along with me. So I said, you know what, I'll get the micro restore. I'm going to try to do a load of laundry, and I'm even going to, as a test, I'm going to throw in a couple extra towels that I know are dead, right? Especially the Kirkland towels, for me, are A1 and done. Like, I never use the Kirkland towels again on the paintwork, at least, paintwork and glass, after the initial, usage when they're fresh. So what I decided to do was take a bunch of towels. I'll be honest, I threw them all together into the washing machine, use the micro restore, and then again, I washed them on cold, used the micro restore, and then same drying process. Like, don't let them dry all the way. In fact, they're borderline still really wet. And then I wanted to see how the towels would go. Again, highly skeptical of a wash detergent specifically for microfiber towels. Okay, that's my mindset going into it. After getting the towels done and using them, I am like a humongo fan of the micro restore, or let's be frank, any microfiber wash detergent. I just happen to use the micro restore from autofiber.com. You can save 20% if you use code Jimbo. Enough of that. So I've noticed that the towels are a lot more absorbent. Now, microfiber shouldn't be a one and done kind of thing. It should actually be something that lasts for a really long time. And in fact, I've seen some of you guys even out there say, oh, I've had this towel for not only months, but let alone years. So I knew I was having an issue somewhere along the line. But honestly, I like the fresh towels, so I never really thought that much of it. After using the micro restore, I can honestly say that I'm going to get a lot more life out of my towels. Now, how much life? I don't know, but it's going to be more than one turn, right? So I would highly suggest to check out the micro restore, or a lot of other companies also sell and make microfiber wash detergent. All I'm saying is that seems to be working really well for my towels and me. Again, a lot more absorbent. So the only thing I can think of is that the fibers of the towels are being more effectively cleaned out and not holding on to the waxes and sealants and silicones that make up those products. Because think about it, if it's making the paintwork hydrophobic or hydrophilic, or making the paintwork bead, it's leaving something down on the surface. And if you're picking that up into your towels, and that product is meant to repel water, right? Then it's your towel, instead of absorbing the water, it's going to become repellent to the water, making the towel seemingly not work as well as it should. So the micro restore is helping effectively clean out and flush out the fibers of the towel, thus letting the towel do what it's supposed to do and effectively absorb the water into the towel, not push the water away like we want on the paintwork of a car. So kind of an interesting thing that I've really never thought that much about. But if you find yourself kind of spending a ton of money on towels, because towels can get really, really expensive, especially if you're only using new ones, by the way. So check out Microfiber Restore or Micro Restore. Might save you some money there. Another tool that I tried out, only because I have only one client that doesn't like me to do rinseless washes on his car. Just one of my clients. He's got 3 cars. I see him on a weekly basis. He does not want me to do a rinseless wash on his cars. So he's essentially purchased everything that I need to wash his cars with in a traditional method, right? And he doesn't care if I do a 2-bucket or a single bucket or whatever. So, but he's bought everything and set it up and left it at his house for me to do a traditional wash on his car, because I don't carry a water tank and a pressure washer anymore. So a couple months back, he picked up a new tool that he thought was cool, and that was the MetroVac car dryer. And in fact, I just want to look up and make sure that is the correct car dryer. So I'm trying to type and look it up at the same time, but I really want to make sure. I want to get the exact. So the Metro Air Force Blaster Dryer, and this isn't the cheesy little handheld one. This is the it might be the Blaster Revolution. I'm trying to Air Force, because there's a couple different ones. It's okay. So it's going to be the because before it looks like it's the Air Force Master Blaster Revolution car and motorcycle dryer. This is not the smaller handheld one. That would be called the Air Force Blaster Sidekick. I haven't tried that one. The one I tried was the bigger one. It looks like it's running about between $300 and $400, maybe even a little bit. Looks like the one he got maybe $425 because he has a super long hose. Yeah, 30-foot hose. Okay, so bear with me. I'm looking on Amazon as I do this. It looks like it's $423.99. The one that I used for my client. He picked it up. It's got the 30-foot hose. He likes it. It has a heat function, but it doesn't work that well, to be honest. So pulls a ton of power, by the way. So it might not. I didn't test it with my generator because I used his home power. And I was skeptical. I'll be honest. And my client's had this thing for a while, but I was extremely skeptical because I actually bought the Metro vacuum and hated it. So the Metro vacuum, let me look at that, how much that is right now. Because there were so many good reviews on the vacuum. Yeah, it's about $200. I think I paid just over $200 for the Metro Vac and Blow vacuum. Could double, I guess, as a blower. I got so fed up with the thing, I ended up throwing it away. I did a whole review on it, on the vacuum. I didn't like it because you had to have the bags and blah 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 blah. And for an industrial use, I didn't find that vacuum as a fit, especially for the money, because the suction suffered if your bag got full, and so that's why I ended up going back to the rigid vac. So one of the reasons why I didn't even bother trying this new tool, this car dryer, because I had experience with Metro and their vacuum, and I just wasn't in love with it. So to be honest, I didn't even care to try it until last week. Again, what was I doing last week that I was willing to try all this stuff? So last week I try it. So I rinse the car, soap it, rinse it again. And then my client's like, oh, do you want to try the dryer? And I'm like, you know what? I guess, right? And I was more so just kind of being nice. Like, yeah, I'll try it, whatever, just leave it out. He seemed to love it. His opinion was that it wasn't any quicker to dry the car like that, but what it was less effort to dry the car. So I'm like, you know what? I'll try it out. That sounds good. Because honestly, I hate drying a car that's soaking wet from a traditional wash method. So I break out the Metro dryer. Again, it's not the little sidekick like hand dryer that I've seen a lot of guys use. This is the full-on, looks like the vacuum, same casing as the vacuum. This thing was phenomenal. And in fact, it even has me rethinking, talk about like rethinking everything in one appointment. It literally has me rethinking if I want to go with the rinseless method, because here's what I'm thinking. It was so little effort and energy to dry the car. And it wasn't even drying the car completely. It was just drying the car like 95% to the point to where I could just kind of go, hit it with a quick detail spray and be done. But it cleaned the rims, it would eliminate the need for an air compressor to dry the car. And also what I did, because this client's cars are never that dirty on the inside, it enabled me to not have to vacuum the inside of the car because I could just blow it out as I'm drying it. So again, I wash the car in a traditional method, then I'm going around the car drying it off. And this thing had plenty of power. Again, another thing that I was skeptical of, that it wouldn't have enough power and I'd end up, running around the car way too many times. Had freaking plenty of power. The heat function didn't really work. It didn't work well enough. That would be a super cool feature though if it could be blowing hotter air, because again that would help dry the car faster. But plenty of power, so I wasn't too worried about the heat. Then when it came to stuff like the mirrors, the cracks and crevices. Again, easy to blow out, all that stuff. And then I thought, oh, I'll just open the car door real quick and hit the door jambs, right? Super easy to blow out all the door jambs, especially the hard to reach areas. And then I thought, this car's not that dirty. Why don't we just, it's not that dirty on the inside. Why don't I just blow it out real quick and get rid of the majority of the dust? Even if I got to come back and hit it with the vacuum, it's not going to take me that long. Turns out the blower had enough power that I could blow through the whole car without even having to vacuum it. So it has me rethinking my method a little bit, because it was a hot day out as well, and my customer was right, it took so little effort to get the bulk of the drying done on the car that it was just, I didn't even break a sweat, and it was kind of enjoyable. So again, it has me kind of rethinking. I could pressure wash, foam cannon, pressure wash again, and then dry it with this air dryer, and I essentially wouldn't have to be bending all over, the car, bending down, wiping, a lot of arm motion. I could essentially skip all that, making it, even if the time, it took the same amount of time, minute for minute, I would expend a lot less energy if I could do a car like this. So I'm going to play around with that method. I'll let you guys know how it goes. But for $425, it's a little steep, but it for not having any time savings. But I'm just thinking, if you're a DIYer or a garage enthusiast or driveway detailer, this might be a tool that you want to check out, simply because it just makes it so simple, especially when it doubled as kind of a interior quick cleanup. Because that's one thing I like about the VX 5000 steamer, is it makes it really easy to get like the chair rails and some of the cracks and crevices on the inside of the car. But this blower, meant for the outside of the car, could really be effectively on the inside of the car as well. So, and I would suggest it with the 30-foot hose, because if you're working in a driveway, you can essentially leave the machine that looks like a small vacuum in the garage, or in the driveway, or even mounted on the wall, and work your way well around the whole car sitting in the driveway. A 50-foot hose would be even better. Not sure they make those, but while the 30-footer was extremely nice and I would highly recommend it, a little bit longer would be equally as nice. All right, another one. So again, I was going to do a super cool bitchin' even review on a glass cleaner. So I bought the Griot's Garage glass cleaner, and quickly found out that, how do you make a glass cleaner sexy? Super hard to do, especially on video, and that I'm not that good with product review videos. So while I did try the Griot's glass cleaner, to be honest, it didn't have any wow factor that would keep me buying it again over just using a little bit of O&R or like a Pearl Nano rinseless solution mixed with water, or even water all by itself. Let me see if I can find out how much it was. Griot's glass cleaner. While I'm doing that, I wasn't super fond of, so it's $15 for they have odd sizes. I think it's an 8-10 ounce bottle, or maybe it's a 20 ounce. Let me see if I can find that real quick. So it's a 35 ounce bottle. So you get quite a bit of product for $15. Again, I like the bottles shapes, but honestly, it wasn't that convenient to hold on my, the side of my pocket, or in a detailer helper belt or anything like that. It wasn't super convenient. It's almost too big. So while it's compelling and I see what they're doing with the bigger 35 ouncer, it almost made it more awkward to hold. If you were a DIYer, or you had a shop, or you had a cart rolling around with you that you could set it down, that would be cool. I see it has 73 customer reviews, 4.5 stars on Amazon. To me, it's just like, I mean, and I kind of feel that way about a lot of glass cleaners. Like, how do you talk about something so basic? I guess the thing was, there wasn't anything about it that made me super excited. So it's clear, The sprayer top, if I'm really going to be a dick about it, the sprayer top sucks. I don't like it. It didn't. I seemingly couldn't get the right amount of spray on the window. It was either too much or not enough, even after trying to adjust it. I'm nitpicking right now, but I'm just being honest. And again, for that bigger bottle, the sprayer top just didn't work well with it, in my opinion. Again, another complaint is it smelled like alcohol a little bit, especially as it got one of their key points is that it evaporates quickly for streak-free windows, which is a good point. The quicker the product will evaporate, the less streaks you're going to have. Now, to get that, I'm assuming that there's quite a bit of alcohol in the product. I don't know. I didn't look at the MSDS. I could smell it. And I didn't like that about the glass cleaner. I would every day rather have a scent, a fresh scent, especially like something like bubblegum, juicy fruit, baby powder. I don't like coconut. But I would rather have a scented product over a clear, non-scented product and get the alcohol smell. So if I had to give any feedback, I would say smaller bottles and add a scent to it. Keep it clear. Maybe personally, if you're going to be, this is a ready to use. And gosh, this just sounds like me bitching, but I'm just telling you what I thought. So I like that it's a bigger bottle, but at the same time, I don't like that it's a bigger bottle. Really solid branding. The sprayer top didn't work well for me. I like the label. I would like to see a color in my glass cleaner because then I know my dilutions are on point, and I like to see that separation. So that's that on the Grey Oats glass cleaner. Again, nothing that stood out. Worth a try, I guess. I won't be buying it again because nothing special about it. And again, I didn't like that alcohol smell that I got, especially when it got warmer. What else have I tried? So this is going to be a random one, and I'm going to take a drink of water. Because I want to tell you guys next about a product that I bought it for one sole reason. And all these products I've bought myself or my customers. Thank you to Mike, my customer. The next product that I wanted to try just because I've had like this thought of like, is Chemical Guy's products as bad as everyone says they are? Now I get it. I think what Chemical Guys has done really poorly is have a bunch of different products that are all the same product and wrapped them in a ton of different labels and then screwed a lot of you out of money. Well, me too, right? So in fact, a lot of motivation behind starting this podcast has been to cut through the crap and give products that just simply work. So that's kind of what this episode is, in fact. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of heat from this just kind of being a rant fest. But honestly, a lot of the motivation behind starting this podcast in the very, very beginning 3 years ago was the fact that I wanted to be able to talk about every product and all these products and really cut through the noise. So I think, unfortunately, Chemical Guys fell under that umbrella of pissing a lot of people off in a short amount of time and getting a really bad publicity about it, and then continuing to do that. So, but in fact, I wanted to try one of their products. So what I did was I picked one of the more expensive gallon products. I picked the Chemical Guys, their waterless car wash. Let me make sure it's the waterless. I'm not sure if it's the waterless. Yes, it's the ready to use. Let me just make sure. Yeah, the ready to use. It's the EcoSmart ready to use waterless car wash and wax. I thought it was $80 a gallon, but that must have been the concentrate because on Amazon right now it is $35. So it is again, Chemical Guys EcoSmart waterless wash and wax. And I thought what I would do is use it as a quick detailer. So I in fact, in my personal business, it's green, says it has carnauba in it. Whether it does or not, I'm not too worried about it. And again, I'm not even using it as what the label says to use it as. I don't use it as a waterless wash and wax. What I have been using it as is a quick detailer as a final wipe down. So as like on my customer's car, and that's weird. Oh, okay. The 16-ounce concentrate of the waterless wash and wax is $25. Okay, it's $100 a gallon if you want the concentrate. I'm not sure what that ends up breaking down to. I would honestly start with the ready to use if you want to even see if you like it. I really, really like it and I can't believe I'm saying that for a Chemical Guys product, but I really, really, really like it, and I'll actually continue to buy it. Performed very well in the sun. What I really liked about it is, so I'd use a rinseless, or let's use my customer who doesn't want me using a rinseless wash method. So I would do a traditional wash, and I still use a wash and wax soap. So I look at the surface of your car and in layers, and if I can layer wax or layer protection, or really what I'm looking for is layering gloss and enhancing gloss, that's what I'm going to do. Thus the reason I will use a waterless car wash and wax as a final wipe down, because there's going to be polymers in it, especially something like this Chemical Guys product that I'm talking about specifically says it has carnauba in it. And when you don't know, fall back on what you do know. I really like that quote. So I don't know if it truly has carnauba in it. I think it does because it separates towards the bottom a little bit when the product sits for a while. So I think it does. But what do we know about carnauba? Yes, it may not have the longest lasting protection, but what it does have is it does have a lot of gloss, right? So a hard carnauba paste wax is going to be really good for a show car because it's going to add a lot of gloss, or a trailer queen. It's going to add a lot of gloss, but not a lot of long-term protection. Excuse me. And that's okay in certain circumstances. So, so in the case of doing a traditional car wash and then follow up with this as a quick detailer, wipe down, whatever, in my opinion, and that's where I'm going to hold it. I know a lot of you listening don't like Chemical Guys, will never ever buy Chemical Guys products ever again. That's okay. That's why I started the podcast, to cherry pick what products I actually like. And this would be a product that I would highly suggest picking up. Again, it's $35 for the gallon. Just use it as a quick detailing spray. Don't even use. I have no idea how it works as a waterless wash and wax. No idea. As a spray and wipe, have zero idea how effective it is to clean a dirty car. But what I can tell you is that it works extremely well as a quick final wipe down. And here's the way I look at it is, if it's meant to be used as a waterless wash and wax, it probably has a lot of those emulsifiers and stuff that's going to make it safe for you to wash a heavier soiled car, right? So if I'm only using it with literally no dust on the car, fresh after a car wash, it's going to be extremely safe, and probably more safe than a quick detailer. So that's what I liked about that. Okay, 2 products, or actually 3 products on the horizon. One I'm going to be trying the day after this podcast goes out is iron removers. So I've been highly skeptical of iron removers because I think it's going to be all show and no go. Especially after seeing a previous auto detailing podcast guest, Barry Thiel, snow foam acid on a car to remove iron particles. And that's what I'm going to be trying out. I'm going to be trying Ferrex by Optimum and Iron by Gion. I'm going to be testing them, not necessarily side by side, but I'm going to be testing both of them. Pretty expensive products. I'm going to be honest. They were about $18 each. And my opinion, they smell okay. So Ferrex by Optimum smells bearable. It smells good. I don't know. It smells kind of berry-y. Berry. It smells like berries. Iron by Gion smells so bad that I was pretty convinced that I snorted some of it into my nose hairs, and it either burned my nose hairs or completely took over my brain. I mean, it smells horrible. Even if the product's good, I'll never buy it ever again because it smells so bad. In fact, I had to go smell some coffee grounds to clear the scent out of my nose. That's how bad it smelled. So I'm pretty excited to try that out on a car. And Ferrex, again, smelled bearable. It still smelled acidy, which brings me to my point, is that it was, is that a 16-ouncer? I think that's a 16-ounce bottle, $18. I can get a gallon of acid that's dilutable for $20. So, or a wire wheel cleaner for significantly cheaper. And what I'm thinking is that these Iron X type products, and that's the one I didn't get. I didn't get Iron X. And Adams Products, I think, has an iron remover. I didn't get that one either. Even though I might pick up one more before my appointment. I'm not sure. Not sure yet. I'm contemplating it as I have Amazon up here, and it's so easy to buy. Anyway, I have the feeling, and I don't know from a chemistry standpoint, but I have the feeling that an iron remover is somewhere between a degreaser and a hydrofluoric acid. And I think the iron would be in the middle. The iron removers would be in the middle, so they would be an acid-based product, but they wouldn't be as aggressive, as gnarly, as horrible to work with as an acid, but they have this cool color-changing effect, right? They all go to purple for some reason. So maybe a company should switch it up and go to red. I don't know. Just thinking outside the box. Do something different, people. Anyway, so if that's the car that I have coming up is white, it's a white X5, and it has all those iron particles all over the car because they haven't taken care of the car at all. And this is actually one video that I really want to do and show, just because I've never worked with an iron remover before. My opinion has always been on rims. If I can't use a degreaser because the rims are too heavily soiled with brake dust and grime, then I go straight for acid because I have plenty of experience working with acid and know how to be safe working with acid. So why would I choose a product like a Ferrex, Iron X, or Iron instead of just going for acid straight or diluted acid? But why would I pick an inferior product just to watch them turn purple? I don't really care if it turns purple or not. I just want the rim to be clean. So we'll see. Again, I've never used those products before. I'm excited to take a deep dive into them, but I haven't tried them yet. That and the CarPro Echo H2O. I got the concentrate, the 16-ounce concentrate. It was $17, and I paid $11 in shipping. That wasn't cool. It also took 5 days to get to me. Man, gotta step that game up, man. That is not cool. That it took so long to get to me and was almost more expensive. It was almost as expensive as the product. But again, I got the concentrate version, so maybe it'll go further. I don't know. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Going about 40 minutes of talking by myself. The Micro Restore, I would definitely try to pick that up. The Metro car dryer, if you're feeling spendy and want to drop $400. Again, I think it's well worth it just in the labor savings, not necessarily time savings, but just from a physical aspect. The Griot's glass cleaner, again, nothing super good, nothing super bad about that product. Again, it was just okay. Super excited to try the Ferrex by Optimum and the Iron by Gion and the Echo H2O. Excited to try those this week. And again, we have a super, super special guest coming up in 2 episodes. That episode has already been recorded. That is episode 300. It's an over an hour long sit down interview that I conducted at Pebble Beach. In fact, out front of the Bentley house. So Bentley rented this house, and me and this person that I'm recorded the podcast with at Pebble Beach, which is the whole reason why I really went up to Pebble Beach, was conducted sitting out front of the Bentley house. And so I'm super duper pumped to give you guys that episode in a couple weeks. I'm in the process of editing it, but and it's even funny. The guest said at the end of it, they said, "Wow, we went over an hour. You're gonna have to edit that way down." And I looked straight into their face and said, "Nope, there will be zero editing done to this podcast to worry about time." So it's over an hour of jam-packed, jaw-dropping, not only information, because it's mainly a story. It's not really a how-to. Again, it's not a best practices or how to. It's really just a interesting story that I've never heard before. So I'm super excited to bring that to you guys here in a couple weeks. Again, look out for episode 300. Excited about that. And that wraps up this episode. This is episode 298 of the Auto Detailing Podcast. Hope that gives you guys some products to go test, some information on products if you've been looking at them. Again, the Detailer Inner Circle is open and waiting for you. I don't think Pete and I will be doing any more podcast episodes about it, but I will be doing these pre-rolls and still pumping it, because I do think I'm just so excited about it, guys. Like the value that other people are getting out of it, and honestly the money that people are making out of it is just tremendous. So you can check out more information about that at detailerinnercircle.com. I hope you will at least check it out and look at it. And if you do, let me know. And yeah, so we got a solid group of dudes in there and gals, guys and gals. So if you're a female detailer thinking about it, there's a few other girls in there too, or ladies. I'm not sure what the proper terminology would be for that, but I encourage you to at least check it out, detailerinnercircle.com. And if you've made it all 43 minutes or 42 minutes of this podcast with me just ranting and raving and talking about product, I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you sticking in those earbuds and listening to me this whole time. And for that, I am truly grateful. Hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you. We got one more episode and then episode 300, and don't underestimate next week's episode 299, lining that up this week, in fact, and it's going to be about boat detailing. So we got a really, really high production boat detailer coming on. I'm hoping to make it happen before episode 300. It may actually happen after episode 300, but episode 300 is in the can, 2 weeks from this week's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Go out there, test some products. Let me know if you've tried any of these products. I'd really like to hear your feedback. And let me know if you like these style podcasts, because I'm actually thinking about doing a new segment in the podcast where every week there's going to be a product that I talk about, and kind of a product special, and I'm going to try to work with manufacturers to get discounts on those products for you. So, for example, like, I'm trying out Gion iron this week. I'll have tested it beforehand so I could give you feedback. And then it's like, if you want to purchase this product, whatever that product may be, you can get a discount on it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm actually in the process of working out deals on that front to help you know. The idea behind that is to let you as the listener grow your detailing arsenal and try new products and maybe get a little bit of discount and kind of a return the favor as saying thank you for putting up with me through episodes like this. So let me know if you're interested in hearing about more product reviews. And if you're a manufacturer and you want to send some stuff out and you want to get some publicity, be more than happy to do that. Catch you guys on the next episode.